be a little deranged in this video, but honestly, when am I not? We need to talk about Frontiers 2. And I don't mean specifically what the gameplay is going to be, but the lore and the story. Because last year, we have had a setup to this game. This is my theory. We have had a setup to this game and I need to talk about it. Once again, I'm not one of those people that talks about the gameplay much, and that's not why you guys are here. I know that for certain. You guys like to hear me talk about the story and the characters, so let's talk about my theories about what Frontiers 2 is going to be about. And hopefully we get something for Summer Games Fest Friday. We need to talk about Professor Victoria. We had the Chaotix case files and we got to hear more about Professor Victoria, and we need to talk about her fascination with the Gaians and the four great civilizations, because Miss Victoria is obsessed with the Gaians. I think especially with the museum level in Crossworlds, I think Sega is specifically trying to tie in all of this lore that they have had over the years, and they're trying to tie it together, especially with Frontiers and all the lore that we got with Frontiers and the story with the ancients and where the origin of the Master Emerald came from. And there were different tribes of the ancients as well, which is very interesting, and we'll get into that. I'm going to clip something from my Shadow Gens review because I went on a huge lore rant and theory prediction thing at the end of that video that ties into Frontiers 2 here.
Being a mutated race of the ancients. The incubated Black Arms race. They look like chaos. They look like the ancients. They have a resemblance because of this. Because of Chaos Island being in Shadow Generations. Everybody was talking about it. They were like, oh, they're just reusing assets. Oh, they're just reusing assets from Frontiers because that's what Sonic likes to do, right? No. There is a reason why this is here. I'll tell you right now. In the game, when you go over the dialogue, especially with Gerald, I believe it's near the end of Shadow's story, you can talk to Gerald. Gerald mentions something about how time is non-existent in the white space or something along those lines, and he says there may be things from Shadow's future that would be here because time does not flow like how it usually does because of the repercussions of the time eater and affecting time. So this means something. This is not a reused asset. This is not a reused stage. You know what this means? If this whole theory about the Black Arms being a mutated race of the ancients, this holds significance. Also, in one of the beginning cutscenes of Shadow Generations, when Shadow was throwing hands with that bitch-ass starfish, Black Doom pops up. He says something about how the Time Eater has allowed him to revive his forces faster. Revive your forces faster? So you were planning on coming back?
So interestingly, Shadow is able to understand what Chaos Island is. In his white space, he's able to conjure up, I don't know how that works with the Time Eater and stuff like that, but that voice line from Gerald Robotnik saying that there may be some places where he visits in the future, and Chaos Island being one of them. I know a lot of people think it's just a reused asset. No, this is deeper. I don't think Sega's actually that stupid. I think there's a reason why Shadow goes to Chaos Island, and that might be that he's going to make an appearance in Frontiers 2, and there might be something connected with the Black Arms. And I'm pretty sure, and I've seen this a lot as well, a lot of people agree with this as well, but I'm pretty sure that as long as Shadow is alive, the Black Arms and Black Doom can manifest themselves because of the DNA in Shadow. As long as Shadow is alive, he is going to come back in some capacity. Maybe Shadow is going to Chaos Island and he's going to explore more of, maybe the Black Arms are a mutated race of the ancients, one of those tribes that decided to branch off. I don't know. We'll have to see. And I'm thinking Professor Victoria is one of those people that's going to connect all those dots, and maybe I think she might make an appearance in Frontiers 2 as well. This also may be a stretch. Maybe a big stretch, but I don't know. They brought Infinite back. Infinite might be another reoccurring villain, and he might be in Frontiers 2. And the only reason why I say that is because of the cyberspace aspect of Frontiers. I don't know. They might be able to tie him in some way. At the end of the Chaotix case files, he said he would see Sonic again, and I like the way that they're explaining Infinite's morality. It's just that the world did him shitty, and so he's gonna be shitty right back to it. Love it. just 10 out of 10 no notes. I love that. I love a villain that's just truly a villain. That's great. But anyway, I have a feeling he might make an appearance somehow because of the cyberspace aspect of the islands and stuff like that. And him, I don't think he has the Phantom Ruby anymore. No, he does. I'm pretty sure. He has the Phantom Ruby still because we thought it was destroyed, but it's not anymore. So see, he still has that. And I don't know. There might be some connection there as well because they're definitely bringing him back. And it might just be Cope. But I hope Tikal will make an appearance. Sadly, I don't. This one I'm not sure about. The other things I'm very sure about, with Infinite and Shadow appearing in Frontiers 2, duh. I really want to see what the aesthetic of Frontiers 2 is going to be. I don't even know if there's confirmation that Frontiers 2 is going to be a thing, but I think they would be a little stupid not to expand off of that. Frontiers was such a successful game, and if there is so much potential when it comes to the Starfall Islands and everything like that. But regardless, I think Tikal making an appearance would make sense. The other reason why I say this is because they released a Jax Pacific figure of Tikal along with another one of Chaos, which I can't get, but she might not because of what happens in Sonic Adventure 1 when her spirit is released along with Chaos, and that's the whole aspect of their character arcs and stuff like that. So maybe she wouldn't, but maybe she would appear in some way, because we are talking about the ancients and we're talking about the 4 great civilizations, and the echidnas was one of them. And if they're going to expand more on those civilizations, because they clearly are with the inclusion of Professor Victoria lately, there's been much more of a focus there. I wouldn't be surprised if Tikal makes an appearance at all. I wish, but that's definitely just Cope. There definitely probably will be more news story aspects. It's really hard to guess where they're going to go with the story. They really did leave it very open-ended with the end and Sonic destroying the end and releasing like the spirits and stuff of the ancients, kind of similar to SA1, but then they expanded on the story in Final Horizon. So I'm not sure why he would ever go back to the islands, but I definitely do think them including their second most popular, maybe their first, I don't know, their second most popular character in the video game. I genuinely wouldn't be surprised at that point. Or they might be planning more characters to be playable in Frontiers 2, and I would not be surprised because we technically got a test demo in a way with the DLC of Frontiers Final Horizon and with Amy gameplay and Knuckles and Tails, and I wouldn't be surprised if that was a test to see how it would blow over if they decided to have different character playstyles implemented into Sonic games again. And it would be perfect for them to do that with Frontiers 2. And a lot of these things with more like the story and then just like the aspect of the ancients and stuff like that, you get that a bit more with the Eggman logs, and I think a lot of people probably have listened to the Eggman logs in Frontiers, but I think that's honestly one of the most cool aspects of Frontiers, because you get it when you fish with Big. And I like when Sonic Team decides to put those little extra things in Sonic games and stuff like that, because I think I'm very fond of the Sonic stories. I'm very fond of these characters and the lore that has been built up, and I do think a lot of other people are too. And having some kind of consistency with that, I think a lot of people are thankful about that. Yeah, Sonic is a gaming character. You play the game to get the experience of Sonic, but a lot of it is also the character writing and the story, and that's what I'm focused on this channel. And having snippets of characters explaining the story and their findings and stuff when they go to these different locations, that was a really cool aspect that I hope that they keep in Frontiers 2, and I hope with other games going forward they also keep that as well, because I was very fond of that when I first played Frontiers, and I hope they keep doing it. And I'm confident Sega will keep doing that, because the inclusion of Professor Victoria and Joe Robotnik's journal and Shadow Generations, and them expanding on that more, just understanding that maybe Professor Victoria might be a Robotnik and might be Maria's niece, that just makes it more clear to me that she's going to pop up in a game like Frontiers. And she has that archaeology aspect of her, and especially with the Eggman bases in Frontiers, you can tell that runs genetically. If we had the Eggman logs in Frontiers 1, we might get something like that for Professor Victoria Victoria in Frontiers 2. Just something to think about. A bit of a short video just because I want to get it out so fast before Friday and Summer Games Fest. So if we do have something, I have a video here that you guys can listen to. And truthfully, I haven't been in the algorithm for a while and I really need to get on that. So many life events have happened, but I've been streaming lately. So, you know, keep your notifications on for me because I've been streaming lately and I hope a lot of you can join if you see this video. Fingers crossed, Izuka, do not fail us. To everyone watching, have a good day and have a good night. Bye-bye.